Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ohio State Call-In Show presented by FanDuel here at the Voice of College Football. I'm your host, as always, right now on a Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Call-In Show. Garrison Gaddy here to talk Ohio State football with you and everything else going around the college football landscape. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel if you like the content that myself, Mark Rogers, and Clean Mike bring to you. Also, check out our website at www.vocfb.com, where you can check out the awesome writers that we have that keep you up to date with college football and our weekly schedule. Also, check out vocfb/shop, where you can get all of your Ohio State gear, whether it be mugs, beer koozies, gotta have that, hats, sweaters, t-shirts, all that. We have it there for you there. Everyone, glad to have you here. Glad to be here with you. It's been a long week for me. I don't mind bringing you guys to some of my personal life. I want to give a special shout out to my late great uncle. He had passed away this week. 94 years old. Good long life, man. And I'm really proud of him. He served in the military like most of my family did. He was a Buffalo soldier. If you guys don't know what a Buffalo soldier is, Buffalo soldiers originally were it's what they would call a Negro regiment, and at that time, and it went up into World War II also, and he was part of that. Went to the Navy. The Navy was actually 1941 was when the Navy officially let black people in. And he was part of that, and he served his country. And he served it well and valiantly, and won and helped win the biggest war that the world has ever seen. And so, Unc, I'm gonna miss you. Gonna miss you, and rest easy and be with God. So let's get to the show, everybody. First off, shout out to my friend Jam for being here. Jam says, "Hey, Garrison, I'm surprised." Hold on, wait a second. No. Wait a second. I'm going to show you guys how much Jam bullies me real quick. She's just so mean. Where is it? Here it is. 1 second. Yeah, Jam, hold on a second. I'm going to retweet it first. How about that? Because I do support it. Because Jam, I love Jam, and Jam loves me. But you guys got to see what she says about me on social media. It's not nice. It's just not nice. Tune in to see what hat Garrison will wear tonight. Same hat, my favorite hat. Or will he show his hairline? No, not right now. I haven't had a haircut in a week and a half, Jam. It looks like it's god awful. It's terrible right now. So that's a no. But let's get started with the show, everybody. Of course, we all know the Buckeyes started spring practice this week. Man, am I excited for that. This is the time of the year I get really excited. And we talked about this on Monday, I believe. And I told you guys that what makes me so excited about spring ball is that we get to see everything that leads up to what we see in the college football season. You get to see the work that's being done. And of course, for some programs, they don't show everything, i.e. The Wolverines. They just don't. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because they don't want everybody to know what's going on around the program. That's fair enough. But for the Ohio State, and by the way, I'm going to, if you would like to call in, everybody, just a reminder, this is the call-in show. I have a few things that I would like to talk about, but if you would like to join the show, go ahead and hit the link that I just put down there in the chat. You can call up, talk about what you want to talk about. It can be Ohio State. It could be anything else in the, not in the world, but anything else in the college football world. Go ahead and hit that link, call in, share your thoughts. But I love spring ball, and I love this time because we get to see everything that leads up to what we see in this season. And we get this, and of course, everything isn't the same. We're going to talk about some of the players, where they started in the depth chart units and how they got out there, whether it be first team, second team, and all of that. But first, we're going to start with Julian Sayin, because I think there's nowhere else to start. Steve, man, what's going on? And if you're watching on X right now, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the retweet button, get the program out there. We'll be very thankful and appreciative if you did that. Bring more people to the Voice of College Football community over here. But I want to talk about Julian Sayin. And Yeah, I'm really big on appearances. I felt the same way when Matt Patricia came to Ohio State, and I saw that he lost some weight. Saw that he shaved the beard down, the hat was forward. He was smiling more. I take a lot in appearances, and with Julian, when I saw a photo of him, it was a month or so ago, and I saw that he had cut the Cali boy hair off, the sunshine hair off. I was like, okay, that is a sign of maturation in my eyes. Now, just because you have long hair, that is not, as a guy, that does not mean you are not mature. But that's how I see that for him. And then, of course, he talked about his in the press conference about him growing the facial hair and how Austin Saravell told him he should keep growing it out. And then Luke Montgomery was the reason why he decided to actually keep it. And he said, "We'll see how long it goes for." And Aaron, I see what you just said, and we're going to talk about that soon. We're going to talk about that soon, Aaron. In terms of the win totals, of course, if anybody wants to call up, you are free to do so. The link is in the chat. If you're watching on X, if you want to see the link, come over to YouTube, and it's right there for you. But I'm really excited because, Julian, of course, the conversation is going to be about his legs and him running the ball. And if there were clips going around of him doing it, he's trying to enter his Lamar Jackson arc. And so, and last year and during the football season, of course, that there was a lot of times where we were very critical of him. The fan base was very critical of him. The media was very critical of him. There's plenty of times during the season, especially like in the game against Indiana, the game against Miami, where there was a lot of space in front of him, whether it be 2 yards, 5 yards, or 10 yards, and he never took it. And it's so weird because, I mean, you look at the Wolverine game when we beat them in their stadium, beat the shit out of them in their stadium. Excuse my French. Like there was a third down in that game where he took off and got the first down. There was another game early in the season, I think against Wisconsin, where he made two guys miss in the backfield before, instead of getting sacked, and he went and got the first down. Ran for like 6 yards, I believe. So it's not that he can't do it. It's just a matter of him going out there and actually doing it, right? But just like Steve just said right here, he is an elite quarterback. And what's so cool about that is that he's an elite quarterback coming off his first year starting as a redshirt freshman. And now we get to see him come into this season and see how he has developed under Ryan Day. He also talked about being under Arthur Smith. I'm not surprised by his comments on that. Arthur Smith is an NFL coach. He's a guy that NFL teams wanted to have, but now he's at Ohio State. And what's also impressive about Julian Sayin is that this is now his third offensive coordinator in 3 years. Chip Kelly, Brian Hartline, and now Arthur Smith. And I'm always going to keep saying this. I'm still going to wait and see mode for Arthur Smith. But at the end of the day, Arthur Smith is a upgrade from what we had last season with Brian Hartline as a play caller. Spat right there. And so I'm really excited to see what he does with Julian. A few other things I want to see out of the spring with Julian. Actually, before I even get to that, they talked about a really spirited speech he gave the team this week. And I also love that because last year he wasn't the most vocal guy. He just wasn't. But of course, you need to grow into that. And you need to earn that. You also need to earn that because you can't just run in there as the quarterback and think that you are going to be the most highly respected guy on the team. That's just not how it works, right? And so he did that, and it was what they said after about a 10-minute conversation that he had over with Matt Patricia, because he tries to spend time over there, and that's what a leader does. Mimicking your head coach. That's what you want to do, right? You want your quarterback to be an extension of your head coach. And Ryan Day, of course, as the head coach, and not having to just focus mostly on the offense, is now going around the team, seeing everything that's going on, has his hands in everything. And I love seeing that from Julian. But out of the spring, because when we talked Monday about the things that I wanted to see this spring, we didn't talk about Julian, what I wanted to see. I just want to see him have command. Just have command. Of course, in the spring, you're not going to really be able to see him go out there and use his legs. It's just not the time where you're going to see it. But I just want to see him have full command of the ship. I want to see him build rapport with the new wide receivers. It's really cool hearing that it's not just him, but it's been the other quarterbacks. But Brandon Ennis has been like the main target for the guys. Of course, it's just spring ball, but I think Ryan Day is trying to make a big effort to get the ball to Brandon Ennis this year, which is smart. But yeah, man, shout out to Julian Sayin. I'm really excited for him this season. Super excited for him this season. The next guy we're going to talk about here, we're going to talk about the running back room. Here, you know what? Matter of fact, let's pull this up because I love this. I just love this. Oh, let's look up Coach Lock. I'm sure you can find it. If we can find it, yeah, here we go. Stuff for you guys because this is why he's one of my favorite coaches on the team. Because Coach Lock, he's not just a coach. He's one of those guys within the program, no matter where you go, that leaves his footprint, and he demands respect, not just with his words, but with his actions and his demeanor. He's a man. Like Coach Lock is a man. And so let's pull this up for anyone who has not seen this video yet. It's really cool. I enjoy it. So let's watch a little bit of it right here. Here we go.
Hey, come back, numbnut. Numbnut.
Numbnut. That's old school coaching right there. Here's Legend Bay. Yeah, man. It's Jermaine. Yeah, man. It's just really cool seeing these guys get to work out. This running back room, I think quietly could possibly be one of the better ones in the nation. But let's stick to the Big Ten. Of course, they were out there and passed for a little bit, but they're staying away from most of the activity. That being Isaiah West and Lamar Bo Jackson. But you look at the rest of the guys there. Let's stick with Legend Bay. Let's talk about Legend Bay because I think that's where you have to start in terms of who is playing right now and who's going through the drills. And Legend Bay, there's a lot of talk around him because of who he is and what he can be and what he currently is. He's a 5'10", damn near 180-pound running back. He's basically an H-back. He's a Curtis Samuel. He's a Braxton Miller. That's what you're getting out of him. 10-2 kid in the 100-meter dash. And he's splitting time right now between running back and wide receiver, which I believe is the right thing to do with him because I don't think he's one of those guys you can just pigeonhole him in one position. I think that's the wrong way to go about utilizing him. But one thing I'm really interested to see is when they talk to the position coaches. And I really want to hear what Coach Locke has to say about Legend. Because I think it's going to be something near what he said about Bo Jackson last year when he said he's got gifts that only God can give him. In the 100-meter dash, right? A sub 11 is really fast. Like it's relatively fast, like a 10-9. That's why I ran in high school, 10-8, 10-7, where he runs a 10-2. Everybody isn't out there running a 10-2. That's insanely fast. And so you look at that, you look at the quickness he has, and he has strength. For his size, he's a very strong kid. He has really big thighs, runs like as he does. So I'm really interested to see coming out of the spring just exactly how they go about utilizing Legend Bay and where they want to put him. I'm also really interested to see where he ends up in the depth chart. I think it's going to be impossible to keep Legend off the field. And I'm not talking about kick return and punt return because I think that's where we can really use him also. But in terms of, when Isaiah West and Lamar, Bo Jackson needed rest, I could see him being the next guy. Now, also, there's Turbo Rogers. Turbo got big in a good way. Matter of fact, we'll talk. We'll go after that in a little bit. But Turbo got really big, man, and he looks like a muscular Mayan Williams. Not as big, of course. Mayan was 235, but that's what he looks like. And I can't wait to see what he looks like this season too, because he's definitely going to get the ball early in the season, especially when they're trying to parse out who's going to be RB 3 and 4 and go through the depth chart. But yeah, man, Legend Bay, he's one of those players that can spark your team in an instant. Like if you're having a lackluster first half or a lackluster quarter, he's one of those players that can go out there and get a big play for you, right? So yeah, shout out to Legend Bay, man. Again, I'm just really happy that he's in Ohio State and not in Tennessee, because he didn't belong there, and we all know that. Next, Dan Hope said that Brock Boyd looked out of the freshman wide receivers, he looked the smoothest. I am not surprised by that. Mind you, by the way, he's another burner, really fast kid out of Texas. And throughout, he does a lot. He works on his craft. He really works on his craft. And when I've talked to, shout out to Boog. Boog is someone I've frequently talked to over the last 3 years on X, formerly known as Twitter. And he's big on Brock Boyd too. He said that he's a very underrated player. And so that I'm really excited to see what he can be at Ohio State. Of course, we also know about Chris Henry and Jaquan Guilford. It was really cool seeing Chris Henry Jr. out there. I'm not gonna lie to you. That kid, when you look at, it's amazing that a kid with that height is able to move the way he does, especially because he has longer legs, so he strides more. But he also has a long torso. He's built like Marvin Harrison Jr. And here I'll give you guys some game real quick for those who don't know. What's really important, especially for a wide receiver when it comes to having a long torso, is that it helps you, especially if you have long legs because you're tall, it helps you sink when you're getting in and out of your breaks. Of course, corners are shorter too, but it helps for corners also. But especially for wide receivers, man, it helps you dip down, and that's something that Chris Henry's going to have to get better at. That I'm not saying he's on Marv's level of doing that, or even like he's an A+ that, or even a B+. We don't know that yet at the collegiate level. High school football is over with. High school football doesn't matter anymore. Your stars don't matter anymore in all reality. And so that's really cool for him, and I'm really excited to see what he looks like, man. I mean, it's going to be really cool when we get to see him across from Jeremiah Smith at some point this upcoming season. Now, speaking about across from Jeremiah Smith, McEwen, our transfer wide receiver out of UTEP, he has been playing on the outside. 6-foot guy, 190 pounds, I believe, runs a 10.3, 10.4, so he's also a burner. Productive wide receiver over at UTEP. I think his freshman year he had somewhere near 300 yards, sophomore year 400, and then last year he had around over 700 plus. His best season. So I think that the way it looks like is that he's probably going to be the starter out there. I think as of right now he looks like the guy that's going to be out there across from Jeremiah Smith. Kyle Parker, he looks good. And when I mean he looks good, I mean like when you look at his physique, he's a 5'10" guy, but he looks like he's very stout. He looks like a running back in all honesty, kind of like almost in the way that Brandon Ennis does. Brandon Ennis is 6 foot, 200 pounds, but he's built really stocky, right? Man, shout out to my guy Robert Howard for being here. Robert, good to see you here, my friend. But yeah, that wide receiver unit, I'm very confident in it this season. I think that the wide receiver unit is it's getting looked down. I won't say getting looked down upon. I think it's a bad way to say it. It's getting somewhat overlooked because there's new faces and because Brian Hartline is gone, right? But I think that when you play in Ryan Day's system as a wide receiver, you are going to thrive because Ryan Day is going to make sure you do. I mean, those first 2 years of Ryan Day at Ohio State were they weren't the most, in terms of what we've had the last few years, they weren't the most talented wide receiver groups. That's just a fact. And so I'm really excited to see what this year looks like for the Ohio State wide receiver group. Next, let's get talk about a little bit about the defense. Peyton Pierce, Alford, they were the first. They started in the first team, and then of course Petty John, Christian rotated in there with the second string. Actually, Petty John and Sincere Johnson, true freshmen out of Linville, they actually got in the first team together also during this week's spring practice. I'm gonna tell you what. I cannot stress enough the exemplary job that James Laurinaitis has done with that position room. It's talented, it's athletic, it's fast, it's mean. I tweeted this out earlier. I commented on it. I saw it V. Sinatelli. I said, man, they all look like him. Like I think like the linebackers at Ohio State now, they look like your James Laurinaitis. They look like your AJ Hawks. Big, athletic, fast linebackers that crack your helmet open. And and honestly, I mean, Raekwon McMillan, that's what they remind me of. And so, and by the way, Riley Pettyjohn sporting that 5, he looks like him. He looks like him. And a lot of people are saying that Christian is going to more than likely be the starting linebacker with Peyton Pierce. I don't know if that's going to last long. Now, maybe James Laurinaitis decides to rotate them a lot, which I would have no problem with at all. I think that would actually be the right thing to do with the amount of talent you have in that room. I think there's a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. I mean, you also got Stover. He was a highly touted linebacker coming out of high school too, another Ohio kid. But yeah, I'm really excited for this linebacker room. I can't wait to see what they do this season. I think they're outside of Georgia. I don't think there's another linebacker room in the country that is on par with what Ohio State and James Laurinaitis has in there. So yeah, man, shout out to James Laurinaitis, man. I talk about him enough, and I can't say enough about him. But yeah, that's all right there that I want to talk about so far for the spring. We're going to talk about it more, of course, throughout the upcoming weeks. Actually, on Monday, Dylan Dance, he will be joining us, a beat writer. He's been at every single spring practice this week, been reporting on it. Definitely going to read some of the articles that I'm sure he's going to come up with some articles. So I'm definitely going to read those over the weekend. Then we're going to bring those to you guys on Monday. So be here on Monday for that interview. Really excited for that. There's also something else I'm trying to line up, but I got to talk to him first. I got to text him first. I won't say who, but I got to text him first. But let's move on here. But before we do, everybody, quick message here from the Voice of College Football. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football. And let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. Check out the experience of one of our current partners, that being Win Agency, and our friends over at FanDuel. And just like them, we are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships@vocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships@vocfb.com. today. Okay, so let's move on with the show here. I want to bring this to you guys. Actually, I'm gonna skip this because I actually want to bring up what Aaron put in the chat earlier. So Aaron says 9.5 over under feels like an insult to the team and the development we have. Of course, this was going to be the main part of the show, but Aaron, let's do it now, Aaron. Again, this is your guys' show. This is your guys' show, so we're going to talk about what you want to talk about. Again, if you want to call in, everybody, or anybody wants to call in, here's the link right here in the chat. Go ahead and click on that, and I will bring you up in a hurry. Also, comments, questions, post them in the chat. We'll love to hear them. We'll love to hear and read. But let's go ahead and talk about this. And honestly, and right now, everyone, if you go on FanDuel, you can go ahead and check this out and see all the odds right now for the Big Ten. But let's start with Ohio State. I got it right here. Over under 9.5. And I will say this, Aaron, I agree with you. Like, I half and half agree with you, right? I do think it is somewhat disrespectful, but I think some of it has to do with the schedule. But if you look at the odds, you would get more money for betting the under 9.5 for Ohio State than you would the over. That's not that, usually that's not the norm when talking about odds, right? Especially in college football. But look, Jam, I saw you said it earlier in the chat. It is a difficult schedule. And in my lifetime, I would argue that this is probably the hardest schedule that I have seen Ohio State play. You go to Texas, you go to Indiana, you go to Iowa, you play the Wolverines, you host Oregon, you go to USC. This schedule is not for the faint of heart. This is one of those schedules where you got to put it on the table, baby. You just got to put it on the table. And to Aaron's point, though, when has Ohio State not done that? When has Ohio State not done that? Year after year after year after year after year, people talk about Ohio State's schedule and who they have to play, and they use that as a reason to say, yeah, Ohio State's going to lose. Illinois is a perfect example. A perfect example. Throughout the whole offseason, and if you guys don't know, I frequent a lot in Wolverine spaces because I like college football banter. I treat college football banter the same way I talk about politics. I am someone who believes that everyone should have the right to say what they want to say, and you should. What's one of my favorite quotes? And I believe this in everything, but we're keeping this on college football. Once you stop having conversations, that's when humanity fails. And once we stop having college football conversations and banter, that is when the sport fails. It is healthy for this. It is healthy for college football, for rival fans or fans of any sort, to have conducive and constructive arguments. I really believe that, and I enjoy it, and I think that's what makes the sport what it is, because it's a very passionate sport, But hey, go Cincios, man. What's going on? Stop cussing in here. You guys know that. Stop saying that word. Hell's wrong with you? But yeah, I honestly, what do you guys think? Do you think the 9.5 is more so disrespect, like Aaron? Or would you lean more on the side of Jam, where you think the 9.5 is because of what the schedule brings up? Guys, it is a very tough schedule. I don't know how many SEC teams have this schedule right now. But I will say on the other end of it though, the cool thing is that say if Ohio State were to lose that Texas game, and shout out to my guy Keon because he's a Georgia fan, but he brought this up to me last night. He said, the difference between you guys and Texas for this game is that Texas has to win that game because they can't lose any other games in their schedule. They just can't. And so, wait, where's B Dub? I don't see B Dub in here, Jam. Huh. But regardless of the fact, I'm not so mad about it. I think 9.5 is a good number. Now I'll tell you what, I'm smashing that 9.5 on the over. Now I will say this. Do not kill me for saying this. Do not kill me. In terms of gambling purposes, betting the under for Ohio State would be the smart decision. Only because of the money. That's it. Because if it were to happen, you get some money off of it. You would. Now, in all reality, the odds aren't that strong. It's only, 130 plus 130 on that? So the odds aren't that strong. It's not like it's 200, right? But there is money to be made there. So, sometimes, I'm not saying you're not really betting against your team. You're just trying to make some money, man. You're just trying to make some money, right? But some other ones to look at here. We'll start from the top. I pulled up a few. Indiana, theirs is 10.5. Matter of fact, let's here. Let's pull up the Indiana schedule real quick because I do want to. Because I don't think their schedule's all that difficult. If I remember, of course they do play us and they do play the Wolverines this upcoming season, but it's not a murderer's row. And at the end of the day, here's the truth. They're coming in with a top 5 quarterback in the Big Ten. They're coming in with a top 5 wide receiver in the Big Ten. They right now going into the season, I would argue that Indiana has the best wide receiver duo with Nick Marsh and what's the kid's name? The kid that was killing everybody from Ohio State on. I know somebody will help me in the chat. Can't remember his name right now. But yeah, he could definitely they definitely can go over it. So here's the schedule for Indiana this upcoming season. Well, there we go. All right. So North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, good God. Northwestern, Rutgers, at Nebraska, Ohio State, and then back-to-back at Michigan. So we'll see. Minnesota, USC. Listen, USC is not a give-me game this year. I think USC is going to be a really good team. They're going to be a fringe playoff team. And honestly, like at the end of the season, I was very bold for saying this, I think, but I said no. If it was me and I was picking the best teams that go to the playoffs, I said no. USC would be in there. They would last year. But at Washington, Purdue, that's 9 wins right there. So essentially, you're talking about USC, Ohio State, and Michigan. It's a 3-game season for them. Possibly at Washington. We'll see what Washington is coming into this year. But it's a 3-game season for them. And all they have to do is get one of those wins. Indiana's going to hit the 10.5. I'm sorry, no. They're going to get the 10 wins. 10.5, I don't know. 10.5, I don't know. Because they could lose 2 of those games. It's football. It happens. But and honestly, the odds aren't even good for them on the under. So yeah, I probably wouldn't mess with that really. The Wolverines, over under 8.5. The over for them is plus 100. You guys suck. Now for them, like I told you guys, I think their offense is going to be really good this year. I also do believe I think their front seven is going to struggle. It won't be bad, but it will struggle early on. But I think their secondary will be one of the better ones in the Big Ten, possibly one of the better ones in the nation. So look, Western Michigan, at home against Oklahoma. We'll see what that looks like. UTEP. I'm gonna give them Iowa today. At Minnesota, they play. They got Penn State at home. I wouldn't call that an automatic win. Indiana at home. That's back to back. Not an automatic win, of course. At Rutgers, Michigan State. Then they go to Oregon. I think they're gonna get sandblasted, but it could be a game for a half. UCLA, then they're at Ohio State. So right there, I think they probably have 7 guaranteed wins on that schedule. So yeah, I mean, for the Wolverines right now, what are you talking about? At Ohio State, at Oregon, Indiana, Penn State, Oklahoma. Those are 5 games right there. And I mean, listen, if we want to count Michigan State, it's a rivalry game, sure, but I'm not going to in this exercise. So they have a 5-game season. They got to get 3 of those to make the playoffs. They have to. And it's going to be hard for them. It really is. You're going to Oregon. You're going to Ohio State. And, I mean, you're not going to beat Indiana. I'm letting you know that right now. Now you could. But I think it's going to be really tough for them. So, yeah, as of right now, if I was a betting man, I would bet the under for the Wolverines. I would hit the over money wise. I mean, because they do have Oklahoma at home. And they have Penn State at home. Those are 2 winnable games right there, right? So yeah, I would bet the over because if they win those 2 games, of course, I think they get to those 9 wins, but I think they need 10 wins to get there. And as of right now, I don't see they have a snowball and hell's chance of beating Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon right now, in my estimation. I don't see it. I just don't see it right now. Thank you, Ghost Sinceos. Charlie Becker. That he's high. He's as a football player, he is high quality milk. Pause. But let's move on here. Michigan State. Now this one right here, I think is interesting. 3.5. So Michigan State this year. Pull up the schedule. All right, you got Toledo. You got Eastern Michigan. You go to Notre Dame, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Northwestern, that's not a give me game. That's gonna be a challenge. At Wisconsin, that's not a give me game. Versus Illinois, not a give me game. Northwestern, for them, that's not a give me game. Yes, well, they're home. You know what? They're home. Pat Fitzgerald, I'll give them that one. I think Northwestern's gonna be trash this year. At UCLA, that is not a give me game. I think UCLA is gonna be very improved. At Michigan, that's back to back games. Not easy. After Washington, you go to Oregon. After Oregon, you finish off with Rutgers. They have to win that game at Rutgers. And now the question becomes, can the Spartans get a win at Wisconsin, get the win versus Illinois, get that Northwest, get the win at UCLA, get the win at Michigan, get the win against Washington? Can they go out there and do that? And it's going to be difficult for them. They're in a rebuilding year right now with Pat Fitzgerald. So, I mean, I'm rooting for him. I'm a West Michigan guy. That's where I'm from. So I lean towards cheering for them. Plus, I hate Michigan. So, yeah, it's going to be tough sledding for them. It really is. But good odds on that one, though. We can skip over Oregon. I think Oregon's going to get that. Penn State 9.5. That is something that I'm curious about. because I'm not necessarily sure what they're going to be. Now, I do believe they are going to be a good football team. I think they have one of the best. I think they have a top 15 coach in college football in Matt Campbell. Fun fact for those that don't know, I wanted when Urban Meyer was leaving. That was when Matt Campbell was at his height as a coach at Iowa State. I think he had back-to-back 10-win seasons, actually. And had a big win over Bob Stoops, if I remember correctly, also. And I'm not sure, though, what they're going to be. Now, they have Rocco Beck, returning starter. He didn't have a great year last year, but he's played a lot of football. Rocco's played a lot of football now. But let's go through it here. Marshall, at Temple, Buffalo, Wisconsin, at Northwestern. And then back-to-back games, they're at home against USC, and then they go to the Wolverines. Those aren't give me games. Those aren't. Then you got Purdue. You got at Washington. I think that's gonna be a challenge for them. So we're gonna bring that back. We're gonna bring that finger back down. That's not a give me. Versus Minnesota. I do like Cal Manis, their quarterback, but they don't have enough talent. Versus Rutgers. And then at Maryland. Right now, I only see 8 guaranteed wins for them. As of right, they could get to 10. I think they could, but they would have to. It's a 3-game season for them. It's Michigan, USC, Washington, possibly Maryland, because Maryland does have one of the better quarterbacks in the Big Ten, also in Malik. So I would probably pick the under for Penn State right now. And it's not because I don't think they're going to be a good team. I just think there's a lot of new faces there. And a lot of those teams that they're playing bring back a lot of their own players, and they also bring back their quarterbacks. And I think they probably have better coaching staffs. So that's that on them. And then USC, the last one we're going to talk about here, over 8.5. Now USC, I'm high on them. Over the last few years, their defense has continuously improved. Now, D'Anton Lynn, he's gone, and I'm also a fan of D'Anton Lynn, but he's out of there. If I remember correctly, he's at Penn State. So I really, 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 and their offense is gonna be good, really, really good. One of the best, a top 3 quarterback in the Big Ten. But for USC, let's go through their schedule here, and then we're going to end this segment. So USC, they're going to start their season off with San Jose State, then play Fresno, then they play the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana at Rutgers, and then they go, they're home against Oregon and home against Washington. Huge. Washington, I think that's a give-me game. They go to Penn State. Not a give me. At Wisconsin, then they host Ohio State. That's gonna be a big game. Probably be a night game. Then right after Ohio State, they go to Indiana, and then they play Maryland, and then they're at UCLA. That's a win. So right there, I'm talking about 8 guaranteed wins. So what are we talking about? At Indiana, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon. Those are the games they have to win. It's a 4-game schedule. They need 2 of them. And I think they're going to split them. Who those teams are, I don't know. I would tend to say it's not going to be Ohio State. I know that much. We're going to have more fans in their stadium than they do. But USC, they're going to be an improved team. They're going to. I can't remember their running back, but he was he was a true freshman last year, walk on. Had his coming out party against the Wolverines. We went over 200 plus yards. Awesome game he had. I'm really excited to watch USC because I want to see Lincoln Riley have some type of success in the Big Ten. I think Lincoln Riley and USC having success is big for the Big Ten in terms of recognition, in terms of getting recruits to come to the Big Ten. And I think people got to remind themselves, in today's game, it can be kind of frustrating. that teams are getting close. Some teams that were middle of the pack, and depending on your conference, are they're getting closer to the top, or at least they can compete more with the top. But I mean, let's not act like UCLA is not. USC is not a blue blood and one of the best programs of all time. But the Big Ten is going. The Big Ten is better if USC is good. That's just a fact. It's the same thing for the Wolverines. The same thing for us. The same thing for Oregon. It's actually the same thing for Michigan State too. The Big Ten's better when Michigan State is good. So yeah, there's that right there. Let's go through some of these comments. Jam, you said it earlier. Said if Day keeps hiring NFL guys, we're going to be a mini NFL team. Facts. I mean, Ryan Day right now. I don't remember any other head coach having this, but I mean, Ryan Day, he's the only coach in college football with 2 prior NFL head coaches as his coordinators. That's insane. And also that shows what they think about Ryan Day also. So yeah, that's true, Jam. But we are definitely becoming that. Man, shout out to Troy V. Says 9.5 is a hope for the critics. Over the past 25 years, how many times have we finished under 10 wins? Yeah, the schedule is tough, but we are one of the top teams. Facts. Other teams should be scared, not us. Big facts. And I mean to answer your question, I mean, what you're talking 2011, and we all know why that happened. 2004 and 2001, maybe 2000. So 3 times. I think 3 times in the last 26 years, 3 or 4 times we've had under 9 wins. We haven't had under 9 wins since 2011 anyways. So yeah, we don't do that. Ohio State just doesn't go under that 10 threshold. And under Ryan Day, I don't plan on seeing that happen. I just don't. It's hard for me to see it happening. And some people can call that Buckeye arrogance. Sure. When you've been as damn good as when you've been as damn great and elite as we've been forever, that's what's gonna happen. So yeah, shout out to Troy B for the comment. Ghost since Yo's, friend of the network, friend of the show. Don't overlook the okay, he's talking about the Wolverines here. Don't overlook the improvements we've made in the strength and conditioning program. We're gonna be some mean, tough, physical SOBs for the foreseeable future. All right, so Yost, I want to ask you a question here, okay? Is it not true that when remind me of his name if you're still in here, but when you guys lost your strength and conditioning guy to the Chargers with Harbaugh, I kept hearing from everybody, oh, he's been his underling, he's been learning under him, he's gonna be really good. 2 years you guys hated him. So I would say, and honestly, I wouldn't even put all that on him. I think you guys had, in terms of a full team, I know you guys had some significant injuries to main players over the last few years, even in your 3-year run of winning the Big Ten title 3 years in a row and going to the national championship. But as a team, you guys are relatively healthy as a team, and that's not common, right? Also, when you play weaker schedules, as Ohio State did in 5, as Georgia did in 21 and 22, tougher games or a tougher schedule means more injuries because that's just how it happens. You're playing big games. You're playing better athletes, So we'll see. I listen. Kyle Whittingham is the head coach in Ann Arbor. I don't expect anything less than hard work out of your guys' program and the pursuit of excellence. And it's not, I would say over the last 2 years, you guys haven't had the pursuit of excellence, but that's what I expect out of you guys. In all honesty, I control you guys from here to Timbuktu to BFE. But in all reality, I know that's what the program and what you guys expect. And I expect that out of Kyle Whittingham. And Yost, I mean, I think Wolverine fans will really enjoy to hear this. I mean, one thing I'm really interested to see, or I think that's a cool part about the rivalry going forward with Kyle Whittingham and Ryan Day, is that we have two coaches here. And I guess you could say the same about Sharon Moore, but screw Sharon Moore. He's not a real head coach. He's a position coach. He's not even a real OC. We have two elite coaches in our rivalry who have no ties to the program that they're at. And then on top of that, both Day and Whittingham are underlings and come from the Urban Meyer coaching tree. And you have Whittingham, the defensive guy, and then you have Ryan Day, the offensive guy. And I think that's just really cool. I don't know. It's just that again, I love this sport more than I love my own team and program. So things like that, man, I think that's cool for the story. I think that's cool for the sport. I think that's cool for the rivalry. It's great for the rivalry. And so, but yeah, Yost, I agree though. But I think you guys, again, I think it's gonna be good. I think you guys are gonna be a good team. I try to tell people this all the time. Just because a team has 3 losses or 4 losses does not mean they are not a good team. That does not mean that. Iowa had 4 losses last year by, I think, maybe a combined less than 25 points, or no, less than that probably. And then they go out and beat the dog shit out of Vanderbilt. I'm sorry, was it Tennessee? So I mean, yeah, I think you guys could have 4 losses, but I would still say you guys are a good team. You probably don't meet expectations, but it's a new year for you guys. It's a new thing. We still, I mean, you guys know you don't get to see the media, so you guys aren't really going to get to see what's happening in your program. But yeah, but appreciate that, Yost. Jam said, "Do you see who was Iron Buckeyes?" No, I did not, Jam, and thank you very much. Stover, linebacker, Brandon Ennis, wide receiver, McLean, safety, and Smith. I'm guessing that's Jeremiah. That's awesome. Good for them. And if you guys don't know what the Iron Buckeye is, it's one of the most prestigious things you can get as a player at Ohio State. Because to get that, you gotta work hard in the off season. You gotta get that during the winter workouts when you're not around your coaches. You're around your team, and you are around your strength team, and they vote on that. They pick that. Coach Mick picks that. So that's really good. That's really awesome. That's really awesome. And also, Jam says, I agree. Michigan will be improved. Any honest Buckeye fan is going to say that. Any honest Buckeye fan. Well, we do have a caller here. Well, we only have a few minutes here, but we're going to end it with Sparty Dan. Sparty Dan, how you doing?
My man, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Oh, by the way, just so you know, Sparty, have you ever watched my show before here?
No, honestly, this is my first time tuning in. I was just kind of listening to see what it was about.
No, first off, I appreciate you for joining, man. I appreciate you for calling in. And just so you know, fun fact about me, I do come from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I am a Spartan. I am actually a Spartan in basketball. So,
my man, I appreciate it. I love it. I was a Buckeye for basketball today. Trust me, I was.
Oh,
nobody was rooting for more than me. I
want some money off that. I was like, there's no way Michigan's beating them by 13 points.
I know.
Man, but what's on your mind though? We gonna talk about.
Like I said, I just joined, but I think maybe you're talking about football. I was so surprised to see the win totals for Vegas for Michigan State today. It was a little lower than I thought. I'll be honest, man.
Huh? Wait, did you just join? Did you hear me talk about it?
No. I just hopped in. My bad.
Okay, so here I'll bring it up for us all right here. 1 second. I'll bring it up because I was going through some of the win totals in the Big Ten that I personally am intrigued by, and of course that 3.5.
3.5. I mean,
well, so when you look through the schedule, I think I can somewhat understand it, but and as I went through, I was like, okay. There's some games where they're gonna have to fight.
Yeah.
Here, let me pull this up here. Here we are. So Michigan State and like the Toledo, Eastern Michigan, those are give me games. Now at Notre Dame, I think we know what that's going to be. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, then also I would say Northwestern's a give me game for you guys this year, and maybe Rutgers. Maybe Rutgers. The only problem is that it's at Rutgers. Now these are the games where I'm like, this is where you're going to learn. And I didn't talk about this earlier, but I think you were really going to learn what Pat Fitzgerald is. And I'm a Pat Fitz fan. But Nebraska, Wisconsin, Illinois, at UCLA, and I would say versus Washington. Those are the games where we're going to see, like Michigan State has to pull some. Like, so, what games do you think you guys can pull out?
Well, I'll tell you this. To me, 3.5 is easy money. I mean, 3.5 is saying, all right, you'll win your 2 non-conference, and you're only going to get 1 Big Ten win. Give me 2 at least, right?
There's no way Pat Fitzgerald's going to let that happen. Like,
There's no way.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
It'll be tough. Northwestern, Rutgers, like you said, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know how UCLA's looking this year. It's tough when you're traveling out west.
They're going to be improved.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I think I'm going to throw a crisp $100 bill on that, though, on the over today. So,
what are you guys starting the same quarterback who finished out the year?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
I thought he played very well.
We'll see. I don't know. It's funny because I think we faced 3 of our old quarterbacks this year. Funny enough.
Yeah, it's one of the funny jokes I like to point out, but Michigan State. It's almost amazing what quarterbacks have left Michigan State and where they are now and what they've become.
It's insane.
You guys are low key college QBU.
It's nuts. And they all end up starting wherever they go. But we'll see.
Like Caden Hauser, he's a good talent.
I liked him. I wish he would have stayed. I get why he didn't, but
yeah.
I got nothing against him on that one. I totally get it. But yeah,
I mean, you got the I shouldn't forget his name because he's about 15 minutes from where I live. You got the quarterback from East Kentwood High School. 3-star kid.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he turns out too. But I have a lot of confidence in Pat Fitzgerald with your guys' program. I really, and also, I mean, you look at the money. Like a lot of people joke about saying like Ohio State, Michigan State have this love affair. But I think sometimes people forget that Michigan State, in terms of program revenue, first off, it's a top 25 program, point blank, period, in college football, and they've got the money. And I think people think that Michigan State's some like some poor ass school, man.
I never understood that like perspective. I'm like, man, we got good donors. It just maybe we don't make the big splashy NIL moves. Maybe that's why they think that. But yeah, no, we'll see. And then
I have a fun question for you.
Let's hear it.
What win would mean more to you? Maybe this is a stupid question, but I really want to know because it's been a long time since you played both of these teams in 1 year. At Notre Dame or at Michigan?
At Michigan, without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt. That at Notre Dame would be amazing. I missed that rivalry. I'm glad it's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I hate Michigan through and through, so I'll take that all day.
My brother.
Friend of a friend, or what is it? Enemy of an enemy's a friend, or whatever that saying is.
Yes. No, listen, man, I'm very clear on my stance. If Godzilla went walking past Ann Arbor, Michigan, I wouldn't think twice. So,
hey, I'd be like the dude in the runway guiding planes. I'd be like, hey, right there.
As long as Zingerman stays there, I love their Reuben. That can stay. But outside of that, it's. But before I end the show, man, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No. To be honest, I was planning on just listening in the car. To be honest, I gotta get to the bar, watch this basketball game starting in an hour. Well,
shoot, hey, rewind it a bit. Hey, rewind it, man. Go listen to some of it, man. Honestly, I really appreciate you coming here again. Like, this of course is an Ohio State channel, but this is for everybody. I love the sport. Like I said earlier, I love the sport more than I love my own team, and so being able to talk with other college fan bases, It's actually funny you came up here because before you came up, I was saying to everyone in the watching the show in the chat that I treat college banter and talk how I do like everything else in my life, like politics or about my family. Once you stop having conversations, that's when humanity, with people who don't agree with you, that's when we lose our humanity.
That's true.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. And you have a good rest of your day. And you have a good time at the bar. And victory for MSU,
my man. Hell yeah, go green and hey, good luck in the
beat the
good
Bruins,
luck this
baby.
year, man.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. I'll see you. Peace.
That's fun, man. Peace, bro. Show up next week. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love new callers. That's always good for the show. That's always good for the network. Always good for you guys too. Well, everybody. Yeah. You didn't like that, did you, Yost? Hey, Yost, you know what's actually funny? Before I'll say you guys before I end the show. There's this Wolverine fan. Who he doesn't follow me, but for some odd reason, hey, shout out to Desmond Sawburn, appreciate that, man. It's so funny because he went posting to me about the Ohio State loss to the Wolverines today in basketball in the tournament, the Big Ten tournament. And I mean, just tweet after tweet after tweet. And I kept just responding to him saying, bro, eventually, you got to figure out, like, because I don't know, Jam, you follow me on X. Me and you DM all the time about, like, real life shit. But, Jam, I feel like everyone kind of knows on X that I'm a Spartan in basketball. So it was hilarious how he kept doing that. And then he tags Johnny from the Johnny Olden show. You guys should go sub there also. We haven't done that. And TJ from the Voice College Football Michigan channel. And they didn't say anything. And Johnny was laughing. And Johnny posted and he laughed about it because it was stupid. It was stupid. Most people know I'm not a. All right, no, I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna kill the show. Well, everybody, again, I appreciate you being here. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Also, share it to all your friends and family if that's in the Buckeye Nation. If you would also like to become a member, hit that join button. You can be see our 3 tiers. That being the Block O Club. JT wasn't short because we all know he wasn't, and we don't give a damn. And say it with me about the whole state of Michigan. Why I live here, but you get the point. Damn it, you get the point. But again, everyone, appreciate you for being here. Again, see you on Monday at 7 p.m. We're gonna have Dylan Dance come on here, Ohio State beat writer, talking to us to interview him about what he saw last week from Ohio State while he was at the Woody Center. So make sure you do that. And as always, everybody, OH, IO.